I'm Dr. Kay Fontana, spiritual grief and sound healing practitioner and founder of Healing Our Grieving Hearts. For 6 sacred years, I walked beside my husband as his caregiver after his cancer diagnosis until his passing in January 2023. His death, following 40 years of love, was the most profound loss of my life. I faced many kinds of losses, from family members to beloved pets, and through it all, I've come to understand grief not only as sorrow, but as a sacred passage. My mission now is to help you move through the darkness with grace, to honor your own process, and to remind you that healing is possible, even if your heart is broken wide open. You are not alone. This is the Healing Our Grieving Hearts podcast. I'm so honored to share this sacred space with you today. In this episode, we're exploring something beautifully universal, how nature's seasons mirror our grief. Just like the earth moves through cycles of blossoming, fading, resting, and renewal, our hearts move through seasons too. I remember the winter day after my husband Dave passed. Gray skies felt like companions to my grief. It was as if the whole world had slowed down, making space for my pain to breathe. Maybe you felt that too, that nature in her quiet wisdom somehow understands. So today, let's explore how grief and the seasons speak the same language. There are spiritual metaphors of the seasons. The rhythm of life isn't a straight line. It's a spiral, a circle, a sacred unfolding. Just as the earth turns through spring and summer into autumn and winter, our emotional lives follow patterns of letting go, resting, and beginning again. There is no timeline for grief. There is only your seasonal truth, the place your soul finds itself in this moment. And the beauty of nature is that she teaches us each season has purpose and each one is necessary. Autumn whispers to us about sacred art of letting go. The trees don't clutch their leaves, afraid of coming cold. They simply release, trusting the cycle, trusting that what falls away will nourish the earth and make way for new life. There is no struggle, only a grace surrender to what is. In grief, we are invited into our own autumn season. This is when we begin to face the truth of our loss, even if our heart resists. It's not only the person we say goodbye to, but also the future we imagined with them, the roles we played, the daily rhythms we shared. Sometimes we're called to release versions of ourselves that no longer fit. The partner, the caretaker, the dreamer who once saw life in a certain way. Letting go in grief isn't about forgetting or moving on. It's about softening our grip, piece by piece, on what can no longer be held. It's a shedding of the old to create space for the tender unknown. And though it's painful, there is a quiet beauty in the falling. Just as the earth's leaves carpet the ground in golds and ambers, our tears and memories form their own sacred mosaic, a tribute to love and life shared. This shedding reminds us that release is not the end. It's a transformation. Each fallen leaf enriches the soil, preparing the ground for what will someday grow again. We too are being prepared, letting the falling leaves be your teachers. Winter often feels misunderstood. On the surface, it looks lifeless, bare trees, cold winds, and long nights. Yet beneath the quiet exterior, the earth is doing deep, unseen work. The soil is resting, gathering strength. Seeds lie hidden beneath the layers of snow, preparing for a future that cannot yet be seen. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is truly still. In grief, we often enter our own winter. This is the season when everything can feel heavy, muted, or numb. We may withdraw, retreating from the busyness of the world. Life slows down, whether by choice or necessity, and it can feel as though nothing is moving inside us. But healing doesn't always look like growth or progress. Winter is a sacred pause, a time when the soul is integrating what the heart can barely hold. Just as the earth trusts the slow work of winter, we too are called to trust that something within us is quietly mending, even if we cannot yet feel it. Feeling frozen is not failure, it's part of the rhythm of healing. This stillness can be a place for transformation, a space where we are held in the mystery of becoming. If you find yourself in winter, allow yourself to rest without guilt. Let your spirit hibernate. Wrap yourself in softness. Warm blankets, gentle music, nourishing words. Know that beneath the silence, seeds of renewal are already waiting. Winter is not the end. It is the deep breath before the next beginning. As I sat with Dave in those final days, winter met me long before the calendar caught up. The quiet, the stillness. It was part of the grieving. Remember this, winter is not death, but growth. Spring arrives not with a roar, but with a whisper. The earth softens, the frost loosens its grip, and the first tender shoots begin to push through the soil. The days grow longer, the air gentler, and the color slowly returns to a landscape that felt bare and still. It's not sudden, it's a quiet unfolding. In grief, our spring does not mean that we are healed or over it. Spring is subtler. It's the season when a small light begins to flicker inside, a single laugh we didn't expect, a moment of inspiration, or the return of something that once brought us joy. It may be as simple as noticing beauty again, or feeling a spark of curiosity about life's possibilities. But spring asks something of us, gentleness. Just as new buds can be damaged by late frost, our hearts in this season are still delicate. Emerging from grief is not a race. There is no timeline to bounce back. Instead, it's a slow bloom, a gentle reawakening to life, one breath and one step at a time. In this season, it's important to nurture yourself. Rest when you need to, laugh when it comes, and allow space for both joy and lingering sorrow. Both can coexist. Spring reminds us that even after the long winter, life has a way of returning, not in the same form as before, but in a new, softened, and tenderly beautiful way. Summer is a time when the earth is alive with warmth and radiance. The days stretch long, the air hums with activity, and life bursts forth in full bloom. It is a season of connection, gatherings, laughter, sunlight, and movement. But for those walking through grief, summer can feel foreign. The brightness outside can feel almost harsh when the heart is shadowed. The laughter of others, the celebrations, the bustling energy of the season, it can all feel like a world we're not ready to enter. And that's okay. There's no shame in feeling out of step with the world around you. Your season is your own, and it doesn't have to match the calendar. Yet summer can also offer an invitation, a gentle opening. It can be a time to step slowly out of isolation, to seek support, or to remember what joy feels like in the body, even if just for a fleeting moment. Maybe it's the warmth of the sun on your face, the comfort of a shared meal with a friend, or a quiet moment in a blooming garden. Summer reminds us that aliveness can return, not all at once, and not to erase the grief, but to remind us that life and love still flow through us. This season invites us to find small ways to reconnect with others, with the earth, and with the tender pulse of our own spirit. It's not about forcing joy. It's about allowing a little light in, drop by drop, until we feel the warmth of life touching us again. Grief does not follow the calendar. You might be in winter even if the sun shines outside, or you may feel spring budding inside as the leaves fall. There is no wrong way to grieve. Nature reminds us everything in its own time. So whether you are resting, releasing, rising, or radiating, know that your season is sacred. Here are some gentle invitations to connect with nature in your grief. Go for a walk. Notice what seasons you're in. What message does the earth have for you today? Create a seasonal altar. Use leaves, stones, feathers, or flowers to represent where you are emotionally. Write a seasonal letter to your loved one. What would you say to them in your current season of the heart? Or ritual idea. Write something you want to release or welcome on paper. Bury it in the earth or float it in water. Let nature hold it for you. Each of these is a doorway to deeper healing. If this episode speaks to your heart, please share it with someone who could benefit from it. The mission of Healing Our Grieving Hearts is to support women who are navigating life after loss of a spouse or soulmate, and those who are tenderly companioning their husbands through illness. Through spiritual support, sound and vibration therapies, and reflective practices, I help women find meaning, healing, and renewed purpose. For free resources, including tips on coping with grief and rediscovering joy, visit purpose.healingourgrievinghearts.com. And to connect with me on Facebook, you'll find me at facebook.com/k.fontana. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Healing Our Grieving Hearts podcast. Remember, you are not alone in your grief, and your experiences and emotions are valid. Join me next Saturday at 10 a.m. Arizona time as we continue to explore the human experience and the gentle art of beginning again, steps for a tender rebirth. Until next time, may your grief be held in compassion and your heart be held in light.